Welcome everyone, we are live here from Daytona International Speedway. It is time for the WOSCRL Throwback Series live from Daytona. Hope everybody's excited as we are. It should be a fantastic race, a fantastic event to be completely honest with you. And I'm very much anxious to call this race. You see our sponsors going by on top of the screen. We want to thank all of them. Of course, you are watching live here tonight. This race is sponsored by, or this series is sponsored by CSGO.diecast.com. This series presented by CSGO.diecast.com is an official retailer of Lotto Racing Collectibles. Check out CSO.diecast.com for some of the newest diecast collectibles. Which I'm sure they'll probably carry the Chase Elliott diecast here soon. That truck day was very awesome. While you're there, be sure to register on the website to become an exclusive member and receive awesome benefits and savings, which is very awesome. As a diecast lover myself, that is really cool. So we are getting ready to go. Tonight's race, also, you see some of the other sponsors. Killer Brownie Company. They specialize in extraordinary desserts for extraordinary people, and I mean, you know, that's pretty good stuff, especially while you're sitting at home watching a race being broadcasted at home. We do want to welcome everybody here, though, to the Manscaped Clash 50 here from Daytona. Of course, Manscaped is the sponsor of tonight's race. We'll have a commercial playing here in just a few moments for them as we get set. What I want to do is we got a in-race reporter that's going to be with us throughout the night. We'll check on him time to time and stuff like that. Frank Marchese is going to be with us. Frank, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Man, throwback series night here at Daytona. Not only this car is just a blast, but tell us about what it's like to drive these cars. For people that's new to iRacing or might not know, the 1987 cars was released, but tell everybody about these cars. They are a handful.
Yes, that is the absolute perfect description for these cars. They are an absolute handful. Forget everything you've learned. If you have iRacing and you have not gotten these cars, just throw everything you could possibly have thought about those cars out. This is a completely different animal, a very, very tough drive.
Yeah, it shows you, not to be mean but to be kind of frank, it shows you the difference in today's world of racing compared to, I guess we could say, the improvements from back then till now to these cars. And man, very tough. So a little bit about Daytona. Everybody knows this is the pinnacle of racing. Tonight is the Clash, so I can ask you, Frank, since this is the Clash, it's pretty much go out there and just try to get a win. Let's be honest, that's what this race is about. It's just a I hate saying preseason, but that's kind of what it's like until the main race is next week. But what is your goal tonight? I know the goal is to win, but I'm sure you're going to go out there and just have fun.
Oh, definitely have fun. The goal right now is to live, because I've been running these as if these cars weren't hard enough. Yeah. We put them on the 2008 version of Daytona, which is bumpy as all get out. So that just adds a completely different challenge. I've been running this circuit in this car in the NASCAR Legends series that they have on iRacing for week 13 this week, and I don't think I've lived past lap 5, so I think if I can get past lap 5, I think I can say I will have achieved a goal this weekend.
Now this race is short, it's only 25 laps. Cautions do not count, however, but you are only allowed one set of tires. One thing everybody knows about iRacing is drivers love tires. Every caution you'll see people come down and get tires. Tonight a little bit different, so you got to play that strategy. Are you thinking about that here tonight with only one set?
Not really. I mean, if this obviously, if you wreck, you're going to be taking a set. But if you're up towards the front, you get a couple of cautions. I would think a lot of people are going to either wait until midway in the race or at least beyond the halfway point,
for sure,
before they take that set. Fresh tires for the end of the race. That will be a premium here tonight.
And of course, they're going to have to survive to get them tires, of course. But
yes,
hey,
that's also part of it.
We're going to be checking in, man, with you. I know you got to get ready to go out and qualify, so go do work. We'll be checking with you here in just a few moments.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks a lot, buddy. And so there you go. Frank, we're going to be watching him tonight here, and not only qualifying, we're going to be watching him throughout the race to see how he does. But first, let's get one of our first drivers here coming out and look at that car. That is the Mountain Dew car, and I believe, don't quote me on this. This is Cameron Thompson, by the way, or Thompson, yeah. That car was actually driven by Darrell Waltrip, I believe. Number 17, of course, famous by Darrell Waltrip. But you see him headed out on track. We got a bunch of other guys heading out. Dalton Connor, Kirk Quist, who I do actually have heard of before. Daniel Rouse is in here, so Tony Ball. We got some other guys coming out onto the track, starting their qualifying lap. And I'm going to be honest, we may see speeds, and what I'm going to try to do is we're going to actually show you some of the speeds here. And there you see it down at the bottom right-hand corner. You can already see Thompson already up to 187 miles per hour, and that's going to climb very quick here as he begins down the front stretch at Daytona. We're probably going to see 200 miles an hour, and it looks like he blinked out just a little bit there, but you do see him back here on track, 202 miles per hour, going into turn number 1 as qualifying has begun. And I promise you, we can hop on board. As loud as that is, you can see the hands inside of that car just working. There, we're going to see this all night. That is, this car, like Frank said, very tough car to drive. As you see him working here, as we'll hop over here to someone else now. And this is Jim here in the number 47 car as he begins down the backstretch. You can see already 200 miles per hour. We'll start seeing times pop up here in just a moment here up on top of your screen on the ticker, and that number 47 car. And I cannot remember who drove that car. It kind of looks like a Martin paint scheme, but I cannot remember off the top of my head what paint scheme that is. But I don't know if no, it's not a Martin paint scheme. I don't know who it is, but there we go. So we're starting to see some times come in. Daniel Rouse currently on top of the board. You see him right here in the number 27 as he slides up off turn number 1 or turn number 2, and we'll begin down the backstretch here at Daytona. You can already see this track got bumps and divots and everything else that you can think of here out on the track. So you're going to see that quite a bit. Let's just be honest. Here is Alex Cruz in the number 5 car, as that is a old Terry Labonte paint scheme that he's running, the Kellogg's Corn Flakes, which is very famous. Most people have watched Terry Labonte knows that was his main paint scheme at yellow and red number 5 as he works out of turn number 4 to come down. By the way, our in-race reporter right now qualifying in 8th position. Frank Marquez right now, or I know I butchered his name again, but Frank did qualify right now in the number 10 spot. We'll be checking back with him here in just a moment. Marchese, I believe is how you say his name again. Frank, you're going to have to correct me once I come back to you. I'll eventually get used to it. And I just love watching the speeds here. This is the number 25 car, and that looks like an old Martin paint scheme, the Folgers paint scheme. I believe that's what he drove. Tony Ball jumping on top of the board. Chris Stouffer, it's been a long time since I broadcasted him. Good to see him back in here, here on ESPN. Currently second right now as we watch Jason here in the number 25 car, seeing what he can do. We got just a few moments here left in qualifying, about a minute left, and we will get this race underway. We got a good field, by the way. I want to make sure I point that out first and foremost. The field size here is absolutely fantastic. Let me know where you're watching from. I see Logan and Ben have chimed in on YouTube. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. So let me know where you're watching from, what state you're watching from. I love seeing all the different states and stuff like that as we are getting ready to wrap up qualifying here in just a moment. All right, here we go. This is the number 68 car, William, and I would say his name as well. I'm going to have to get a punctuation of all these drivers' names because some of these guys' names are, well, let's just say I'm from Tennessee. We butcher names here quite a bit. Cross to the start-finish line. William going to qualify up in 11th position. Good lap there. Not bad at all. Good way to start out. We got about 32 drivers, something like that here. And these guys came to me. Skylar Grissom is the actual guy that came to me wanting to put this on, wanting us to broadcast it. We talked about it for a long time, and I was really looking forward to broadcasting a throwback series. So, all right, let's hop back in with our in-race reporter, and we'll talk to him in just a moment. And, Frank, you're going to have to refresh me on your name again until I get used to it.
Marchese, you're good, bud.
Marchese. So, there we go. Frank is back in here with us. You did qualify, and you're starting in 15th, so right in the middle of this field. I'm sure you're not too happy with your qualifying run, but talk us through that lap.
very scared. It felt a lot better, especially the second lap than it actually turned out being. But inside, I'm not all that upset about starting down there.
For sure, man. And we know that you're not going to have to pit here under green. At least we're pretty sure anyway. What is the thing that worries you the most coming into this race? Is it working around other cars, because these cars handle very tough to drive? Is it working around other cars that worried about them sliding up on you, or is there something else that's on your mind?
It's being around other people is my problem. That's kind of where my concern is going to be. These things are not like big drafting cars. They are very much just kind of leave and give space, and you'll go a little bit quicker. But people are so used to driving the cars that we see going around the circuits today that they try to bump draft in these, and you just cannot do that in these.
Hey, man, good luck tonight. We're going to be up here watching. We'll talk to you here in just a few moments.
Thank you, bud.
Thanks, buddy. So there you go. We're going to be checking in with Frank here throughout the night, talking to him as he gets set. This is a tough place. I mean, you heard him talk about these cars moving around quite a bit. As this race goes on, as you see your ticker just ticking down here as we get set to go. Just looking around, you see Cody Decker back here in 20th place. Cameron Thompson, we watched him qualify. There's Jacob and Jason back there as well, and some other guys. As you see these cars starting to roll off the grid here, you see that number 84 Aaron's car rolled off here as we get set to go green here in just a moment, as we do got 25 laps. Caution laps do not count, so keep that in mind, and all that good stuff. So here we go. And Dallas over on Facebook says he's watching from Ohio. Not too far from me. It's good to see that. Let's see. California. Got a bunch of people over in Ohio watching as well. Ben Cole's watching in California. Dayton Trucks and Rails in Ohio. James Swalls, Ohio. Let's see. South Carolina, Arizona, North Carolina. That's definitely not far from me. I'm in Bristol, so Tennessee, so that's definitely not far at all. So, all right, here we go. Cars are all working up here, and God, I'm going to be honest, I don't wish wrecks on no drivers, as we got somebody back here almost wrecking, but I don't wish wrecks on no drivers when it comes to broadcasted races. That's something I don't do. But I'm anxious to see a blowover. I want to see one so bad, because I haven't seen just video. I haven't seen one actually live happen. And I got a feeling we could see that. So, I don't know. We'll see if it happens or not. I know drivers are talking about it. So, here we go. Ready to get this season started for the Manscaped 50 here for the Clash. Ready to get this one underway. 25 laps. Sponsored, of course, like I mentioned, CSO Diecast. Ready to take us to the green flag here from Daytona as the pace car pulls in off the grid or off the track. Green flag is out in the air. We're racing. This season is underway. 25 laps will tick us down. Let's jump back a little bit. Already a battle going to be heated up for the third spot. You see right here, we're watching James Barkas in the number, that is the 54 car, taking a peek underneath the 22. Not going to happen right now. You guys want to see what it's like to ride on board. We're going to hop on board right here with our in-race reporter, Frank, as he continues the race. Look at this. On board with him. And we'll see what he does as he works into turn 3. It's a tire squill. You see his hands working that wheel. That is one thing these guys are going to have to deal with constantly here tonight. And not only that, he's got to worry about the other drivers around him, as that camera shake is absolutely insane. That's the first time I've really seen it that intense. These cars really show that camera shake really well. There you see the number 3. A little bit further back, this is Lawrence. And I'm not going to butcher his last name by disrespect it, but we do got our first yellow out on track. And it comes out here on 24 laps to go. And we will see what the cause of it was. It might take us just a moment. Let's see. A little bit further back. I do not see anybody. Not sure. Oh, it might have been right there. Did not show us. Oh, I found out who it was. Give me just a second, guys. And here, I believe, is the cause of our caution right there. See the number 7 car getting sideways, able to keep it going. That was Jason Montevill in the number 7 car. So there's the first look at your caution in the number 7 here for the new season. 23 laps remain. It is Chris Stouffer who has taken the lead here from Daytona. What I want to do, guys, I want to pause for a quick commercial break because I want to make sure we get the Manscaped sponsor in. These cautions do not last as long as normal, so keep that in mind. So we're not going to be gone just for a moment as we get set to go back green here in just a moment.
We are back at North Wilkesboro.
Alright, guys, welcome back to Daytona. Pace lights are out, and you can see this is not your ordinary cup track or cup race or truck race or any other kind of race. We go throwback here, and that's exactly what we're doing. Single file restarts, and if you are a lap down, don't quote me on this, but this is what I was told, okay? If you are a lap down, lap cars will be on the inside. There you go. They're pretty cool. But yeah, you guys want to see a blowover too. I know everybody in the chat does because I do too. I'm not gonna lie. Here we go. Green flag set to come back out as the green. Well, there it is. Green flag is waving here once again, and up front as our ticker has to catch up. Give it a minute, and we got another caution here early. And this was a big one, guys. Give me just a second. We will try to find this one. Let's see if we can find out what happened. Back through here. So, oh, you see it right there. It looks like some heavy wheel spin. I'm trying to see who that is. It looked like it was right here. Give me just let's rewind this just a little bit and watch this restart. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened there. We'll be able to see a little bit better when we go high above it, a blimp cam. Let's see. This was the 10 looking to the inside and didn't. Well, there you go. 10 and 6 gets together. That was Tristan and the 6, Nicholas Post, getting together. And unfortunately, it does cause a little bit of an incident here starting out. So that lap, going to go back under caution. And it happens. These guys are still new to these cars. Everybody that has driven these cars knows how tough they are to drive. So give it just a second, or give it a couple races, and I promise these guys will get the hang of this car as we get set to go back here in just a few moments. I know our ticker's a little weird because where they are not cautions in this race, it takes a minute to get caught up and all that good stuff. So you see the 13 car He's got to go around, catch up to the back of the track, or catch up to the back of the pace car. While I'm thinking about it, let me actually get the race information up on the screen. There you see it. 77-degree air temp, track temp at 88. I don't think that's going to cause an issue with these cars. I don't know. All this is completely new to kind of everybody still, so we're not 100% sure about the tire wear. Maybe you guys in the chat might know better than me. So we're kind of waiting to see that, but we'll have to find out. 9-mile-an-hour winds. Not sure if that's going to cause an issue as well. Don't think so, but once again, you never quite really know exactly. So, yeah. Once again, this race sponsored by CSO Diecast. Make sure you guys check them out, please. They're awesome series sponsor for this. Trust me, the broadcast could not be possible without sponsors. They do a great job. Manscaped has stepped up. They are the sponsor of this. You guys see the commercial. Not only that, I mean, we also got the Killer Brownie. Make sure you guys check them out at killerbrownie.com. They specialize in, I'm guessing, brownies would be my guess, which is very awesome, by the way. Like, who don't like brownies? Anyway, Manscaped, they sent that commercial over. Get 20% off plus free shipping, by the way, with the promo WOSCRL at manscaped.com. That's WOSCRL, which is actually really cool that they actually offered that. That's pretty neat that they got that. So that's pretty cool. And, of course, the diecast. We got any diecast fans in here? What is your favorite diecast ever? The one I've been wanting is the old Jeff Gordon White Flames paint scheme. It was Pepsi. But anyway, here we go. Pace car drops back in. The green flag is back out in the air. We're racing here once again, and we got another wreck happening in the back. Got a big one. Caution may come out during this as well. It was a 7. I'm not sure. But there you go. He is around. We stayed green. Not sure what actually happened back here. Let's actually take a replay. Now, the caution does stay away. I think we had some more issues. Yeah, right there. They just got into it. They had some issues trying to pass or something there. But you see the 7 coming down pit road. Back up front. Tony Ball was able to take the lead. Here comes Christopher looking to the outside. Followed by Drew in the number 22 card. I don't want to butcher his name as well, but I will try it here in just a moment. But there's your look at Drew in the number 22 car as they walk off turn 4. Watch these cars slide around. It is absolutely insane to see how much these cars will actually slide around at a what I call a restrictor plate track because, you know, they do run the restrictor plates now. But that is absolutely insane to watch these guys. As you see James Barkas here in the number 54. He's done a good job of moving up through the field. We can actually hop on board here, and you can see as he looks out. Let me actually try to go inside the car. There's what it looks like inside one of these cars. And the cool thing is we got the 360 camera. We can kind of rotate here. Oh, man, you just see it right there. A little bit of trouble, but we've got the 360 camera. Check out the old open face helmets here on the cars. As you see right behind him, he's got some trouble being pressured by Dalton Connor right there in that black car. But you see right here, hands up on the wheel, looking out the front of the car, and he's trying to run these guys down up in front of him. As we do stay green here, 20 laps to go here. We got a pretty big pack right now working up inside the top 10. Actually, we might be, this might be, yeah, this is right inside the top 9 cars that you see. That's Coda McCory right here in the number 11 car, which is a Darrell Waltrip car, and there you see him right there. These top 9 cars are together. You got the number 90 right there. What it looks like is the Ken Schrader Red Baron car. So we're still trying to get used to some of these paint schemes. Not sure if all the drivers will change their paint schemes next week when the race actually will count. Of course, this is the Clash, so not so much on the line here tonight. But I promise this is going to be a very important season for a lot of these guys because when you come into a new series, you want to win. Look at them things bottoming out really hard right there with them bumps, and that's what Frank was talking about. But very much looking forward to it. Everybody wants to win the inaugural season championship. As you see right here, Drew taking a peek to the outside, trying to get that lead back. here as we stay green here from Daytona. Everything is kind of spaced out a little bit further back behind these guys. And you can kind of see it right here as we do get a yellow out on track. And it looks like, who was it? Jim, I believe, went around. It might take me just a moment to find this replay, but there you go. And a 5 car and a 47. Oh, hard contact there. You see that Mountain Dew car coming off the corner as well, but there you see Jim. Hard damage, and unfortunately this may have ended his night. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to drive that car back, and apparently he is. These guys do not get no quick repair, so keep that in mind. We are almost to the halfway point. We talked to Frank here earlier, so we're going to be watching, before we bring him back in, we're going to be watching to see if he comes down pit road. He said he could come down at halfway. He may wait a little bit since we're not to that halfway point exactly yet. So we're waiting to confirm this to see what happens here on pit road as we watch Christopher right now up in front, I believe. Actually, let's jump up. I'm sorry, it's the 84 of Tony Ball, who is still up in front right now. So let's see what happens here. Pit road is going to be open. And we will see these guys come back down pit road, I would guess. Maybe this time. Waiting to confirm that. This looks like fun. Todd, you ought to get in on this, man. I think you would enjoy it. And not sure if everybody's coming down. Seen a couple. That'd be about it. I hope here comes some guys. Let's see. Yeah, a few guys coming down. You see our ticker up there going crazy. Trying to get caught up with everything. And once that does, we will bring back in. Here comes our inter-race reporter. We'll talk to him once again. Let's grab him real quick. Frank, it's Adam up in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
How's the car doing? It looks like you got a little bit of damage there, but I mean, you know, I'm trying to be nice about it.
Oh, this car it's anything around people, especially, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened on that restart. There were cars that had jumbled up in front of me, and then of course the accordion just goes along. So I don't know what kind of damage we have, but I don't know if it's going to hurt us yet.
I noticed something while the race was going on, or during that little run we just had. I noticed something that was actually going on. I noticed the car's bottoming out. Do you feel that in these cars?
Oh, yeah, you feel it.
It looks like you would.
You definitely feel it, especially in the middle of the corner. It kind of throws it out towards the middle. Like, if you see these cars hugging the bottom and then they just kind of jump to the middle, that's not us doing that. That's the track throwing the car up out there.
It's very impressive, man. I'm not going to lie. Hey, I know it's a handful. I'm sure you're having fun, though. But go see if you can. I mean, you're not actually doing bad. You're actually still right in the middle of the pack. So go see what this damage. I don't know. It don't look too bad from my angle. I know you got a little bit of damage on your back end from what I can see, if that helps. But
thank you very much. That does help. And I've made it past lap 5, so I've achieved my goal.
Hey, if I could do 2 laps here, man, you know, that's a pretty big accomplishment. Keep it up, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. He did make it past lap 5, so, you know, that is a good thing. So, all right, we are about to go back green here in just a few moments. As we get set, you still see Tony Ball up front as we come back to the green flag here in just a moment. Woo! Man, these cars are tough. So we'll see. Pace lights are off, as you can tell. It's one cool thing I like that the iRacing did. They shortened the pace laps. I'm not going to lie. I've been broadcasting now for 4.5 years on iRacing, and pace laps can get brutal. Not going to lie. Hey, he is leftward. I'm not pronouncing your name, but he is spotted Dylan Patterson. I cannot say that on a broadcast. But hey, you do your thing. So there you see the 98 lining up on the inside. That's what's going to make this interesting as lap cars do line up on the inside, so he basically has to race around the leader and try to get that lap back. We'll see if he's able to. as we do get set to go back green flag here in just a moment from Daytona. Of course, this is the old Daytona, so that means, like Frank said, the bumps are pretty, you know, pretty rough. All right, here we go. Green flag back on the air, and that is Tony Ball that you see up front leading this one. Christopher dropped back to third, and then biggest mover of the race. Let's actually talk about him. Ben Bando. I hope I say his name right. He is currently up to 10th. Started in, I believe, 27th. He is in that green number 33 car. You see that car bottoming out here, as he did put a pass just now. That was for 9th place, as he completes the pass on Bobby in the number 90 car. And I was actually talking to Bobby earlier, and I was really butchering his name, and I think I actually got it. Well, he said a lot of people butcher his name, so I think I did got it. But it is Bobby Patrica. So, yes, oh, we got one spinning. Josh Shelton around. Hard contact into the wall, and we stay green as he slides onto the pit road. But we do stay green. How about this? Up front, it is absolutely crazy racing up through here. As you see the number 11, Coda McCuller, right here, right behind this entire little pack. Currently in 8th right now. Up front for the lead. Tony Ball still trying to hold on to that spot. We will interview our top 3 cars. Whoever places in this one, we will be talking to them. Let's check the miles per hour. That's one thing I absolutely love seeing. Now this is with Ball on the outside. 200 miles per hour right here as they exit turn 2. That is absolutely insane. 205, 6, 7, 8, 9. 211, 12, 13 miles per hour. That is without draft, by the way, because he is actually out front. That is insane. Just want to point that out. Let's hop back here with our in-race reporter and watch him for a moment, as he's trying to complete a pass. He is for 15th position. He's battling Kurt Quist here. Kurt put a little bit of a block on, but you can see the speed that Frank has. 209, 10, 11, 12 miles per hour. Oh, I love the camera shake we get. So cool. Up front. Oh, big wreck. Somebody flipping. That is the 98 car, who I believe is a lap down. These guys, this may be the big one. Back up in the traffic. That was Austin Connick who came back up the track. We're going to have to back this up and see what actually happened. Let's just do a back up normal instead of see what actually happened here. Oh, it was the 67 got into the wall, and you just look at that car roll. He does come back up into the track. Not sure if he got any damage from this. You guys want to see something cool? Let's Frank had a pretty good view of this wreck, I believe, so let's actually look at his in-car. You see the smoke? Car is going down to the inside. Not the biggest wreck, but oh, we got lucky. And the thing is, you cannot make a sudden movement with that wheel in these cars, or everybody here knows what could happen. That was crazy. Let's see, we had a spotter that was in here talking to the chat. Spot for Dylan. And there you see Dylan Patterson. Right there in the... And if I'm not mistaken, this might be... And Dylan Spotter, I know you're in here. In the YouTube chat. Let me know, is that a Tim Richmond paint scheme? In the 25, it looks like one. I cannot remember if that's a Tim Richmond, though. Let's check out some of these paints. Why not? You guys can see the names popping up right there. I mean, some of these. This is one of the coolest things that we got to see, was just looking at some of these paints. I was hoping a lot of guys would bring some really nice paints to the broadcast here tonight, and there is some good ones in here. I like that one. Benjamin Shelton. Hey, check that out. William throwing it back with the lift paint. That's pretty cool. Just looking around here right now. There's that Ken Schrader paint scheme, Red Baron, which I actually painted one of them as well. Dallin Hart paint scheme. I like that one. I love seeing these old school paint. Eminem's paint scheme, Jacob. A lot of good looking paint schemes in here. I like that one. It's a nice one. It's a cool one. Alright. So let's get ready to do this again. As the pace lights are off. Let me read some of the chat here. What do we got? You think it is? Yeah, I can imagine. You know, because I spot for my team here and there. Spotting one of these cars would be very tough, especially at a track like this. I think when we get to other tracks, it might not be as bad, but a track like this would be very interesting because all the bumps and stuff. Real fast, before we get ready to go back green, which I know we're getting ready to come up on. Next week, of course, Daytona. Rockingham the week after, which I'm really looking forward to, by the way. Pocono, which is going to be fun. Then we have an off week. So there's your next 3 races. Daytona, Pocono, or Daytona, Rockingham, and Pocono. Pace car is in. Has Tony Ball ready to get us back underway. There he goes. Oh, there's the whole button. But there we go. Chris Stouffer trying to close the gap back up. As you see already, Tony Ball able to extend that lead just a little bit here. As these cars work off of turn 2 down the backstretch. Seeing Kurt Quist just put a pass on the 51 of Jacob. Moves him up to the P17 spot. Look at them hands inside that car at 95. Holy cow, what a run he got. Kurt with a huge run off that corner. That was absolutely insane. That car's sliding everywhere right now. Hey, he's almost there. Looking for a top 10. Frank, our in-race reporter, trying to grab the top 10 spot away. As a yellow comes out on track. And I believe it was Cameron Thompson. Oh, we got cars flipping. This is the 7 and the 25 of Dylan Patterson's involved. We know his spotters in here. Let's see what happened. This is exactly where this happened at. 17 gets a little loose. And Dylan really just could not hold on to the car. Oh! Oh, more wrecks. Let's actually see. Dylan took a hard hit here in his car. Let's see. He got actually hit twice, I believe, too. Right there's that. He tried to call it 51. Oh, hard contact there. Man, these things are violent when they wreck. That's insane. All right, guys, stand by once again. We'll be right back. Let's get a sponsor in from manscaped.com.
We are back at North.
Once again, if you go over to manscaped.com, you can use code WOSCRL for 20% off plus free shipping. With the way shipping prices are, that's a big thing right now. So, pretty cool to see that. As you guys see all the sponsors popping up on the screen right now. CSGO Diecast, CSODiecast.com. Make sure you guys check them out if you're in the Diecast. We do appreciate their awesome sponsorship. I love Diecast. Make sure you register. You get exclusive member benefits for that. So make sure you guys go over and check it out. as well as sorry, thekillerbrownie.com, which by the way I am actually on their Facebook, or not their Facebook, but their website. You can actually buy this online, and I'm not gonna lie, as a fat boy, these look pretty good. Just gonna be honest with you, and they legit look killer. And actually, for as many as you get, the price is not bad. Anyway, we want to thank them for that as well. So, pace lights are out as we get set to go back green here. Once again. Tomorrow night, guys, I will be live once again on Facebook for the NWRA Super Late Model. Actually, we got 2 broadcasts for them tomorrow. They are running one race, from what I was told, at 5:30 p.m. and one at their normal time to make up for last week. We will confirm that once we get word. We're not 100% sure on exactly that yet. So, you know, make sure that you guys tune in. And we'll post on our Facebook, ESPN. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to our Facebook, please do. Because we are very close. I did say CSGO again, I think. The CSO, I apologize. We are very close to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, make sure you hit follow on there. We're not far from, I think, 2,500 or maybe a little bit more now. I haven't checked it. But here we go. Pace car ready to drop in. Green flag set to come back out. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out. We are coming up on 12 laps to go. Still out front. Tony Ball has been great here tonight. By the way, that green car that you see on the inside, that is a lap down car. Just want to make sure I point that out. And lap cars do start up on the inside. If you're a lap down, it's single file with lap cars there. That is the 10 car that you see. And look at this view of cars. So let's do something, guys. What do you say we let's crank it up. We ain't done that here for these guys. Let's see if we can do that. It should sound pretty good. So turn up your headphones. It's gonna be loud. And as soon as I say that, it is a big one. And I'm trying to see who all was involved. I did see that 10 car of Tristan right here around. Let's back it up and get a replay. And there it was. He got into the wall. You can see he rode the wall all the way through turns 3 and 4. And that right there just caused more chaos. And the 12 almost got to blow up. Well, that was a big one. There you see him sitting on the sidelines. Unfortunately, going to end his night. I'm going to try to get another replay of this guy. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble with my overlay getting it popped up. Trying to see who else was involved in this. And unfortunately, I just cannot tell. I think Michael Bussell was in one of them as well. In the 12 car. Haven't really spoke a lot about him tonight. And there you see that. And he's the one that almost got the blow over. The back end really came up. That's where I thought he was going to. Hard wrecking at Napa number 12. He is able to keep rolling, it looks like. And you see the number 90 car. And then it looks like some smoke, and that looks like that may end his night. And you see him sitting there on pit lane, so it will end his night, unfortunately. Spotters are underpaid. Yeah, I can see that. It's tough, man. And these cars, like, at any plate race, it's tough to spot anyway, or any restrictor plate track. And we got something going on here. I think we are waiting on the pace car, so you can see that. So with that, let's bring back in our in-race reporter once again. As you see him sitting here, and I think we're waiting on the pace car. Well, pretty much under a red flag. Let's just be honest. That's kind of what it looks like. we're basically waiting on a pace car to come. And with that said, let's bring in Frank here as we'll talk to him. Under this, I guess we could call it a makeshift red flag. I don't really know. Frank, you got a copy?
Yes, I do. What's going on, bud?
I think we kind of got a makeshift red flag going on right now. Not quite sure. But
yeah, it was a little bit of a glitch out with the not counting cautions. We have to wait for the pace car to come by.
Okay. So you have started to work your way up. I don't know. Are you impressed with that? Even with the damage? I mean, you've not done bad over the last few laps.
I'm more impressed that I haven't died in the last 2 wrecks. Both of those happened right in front of me. I don't know how I missed the car coming across my nose in the first one, and then the Red Sea just kind of parted on this last one. So I've been pretty lucky, and I've also thrown the No More Mr. Nice Guy thing in there, so I'm starting to move up now.
I feel like you have to do that in these cars. I feel like you have to be a lot more aggressive in these cars compared to the newer Cup cars.
Yes, there's a major problem with that. Aggression equals wrecks, and that's what we've been seeing.
For sure. Hey, you wouldn't happen to know what paint scheme that is you're running, would you? Like what? Okay. Well, I'll let you handle that. So go do what you do.
Yep, I will do that.
All right, man. So that just happened, guys, and not quite sure why this happened, but let's actually see this replay. Now, somebody ran into the 20. That was the 10 car that ran into the 27, and then sent the 27 into Frank, and not sure exactly what Chris was looking at. Let's see. Make sure that he didn't have a problem here. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. There's a look at that. And that was interesting. So, you see a lot of these guys getting caught back up, all that good stuff. But that just happened. Just want to point that out. Frank probably not happy, and definitely could see why. But anyway, let's actually check his damage. Because he is our in-race reporter. I got to help him out somehow. Being our in-race reporter. I would say it's bad, but it's actually not bad. It pretty much looks the same. As maybe a little bit more damage down the center of the bumper than what there was. Yeah, definitely. But it ain't too bad. You'll be all right. It's tough, though, especially when you're just minding your business. So we are set to go back green this time, as we did have a little issue with the pace car. It's okay. I'm anxious when these cars get to different tracks. I understand Daytona is a big thing for these cars. I understand the speed's amazing. I love watching it. But I want to see these cars like on Rockingham and places like that, because that's where I think these cars really do shine, to be completely honest, in my opinion. I love watching them on shorter tracks, mile tracks. I think it, makes it really good. Bobby Goodwin says this is awesome. Boyd Hogan says, Kay Quizzy and Tony, let's go. So I'm here looking at the schedule. North Wilkesboro, we're going to race. Dover is going to be fun in these cars. That's going to be interesting to see, especially coming off turn 4. Pace car is in. Green flag back out in the air. Because the restart zone here, by the way, very small at the old Daytona, if you haven't noticed. You see, it has pretty much been our top 3 cars that we see. Tony, Drew, and Chris up front. Somebody that has snuck up here a little bit is the Ford car. Luke Dort, he's picked up 2 spots. Here as he looks at the top 3 right in front of him. And I don't think our top 3's completely satisfied. We just got somebody that blew up back here. I'm trying to see who that is. That is Daniel Rouse that has blew up, and car will be going slow down the backstretch. So I seen a puff of smoke come out the back end. That's a tough break. Lead change. Drew going to the top of the board. And I wouldn't say his last name, guys, but I'm from Tennessee, and we absolutely butcher names. But we'll figure it out. Anyway, still battling up front for the lead. 84, Tony Ball wants that back to 13 of Chris Stouffer. Not done as well. We can throw Luke Doran in this mix now. Coming to 9 laps to go once we hit the line. As I may have a wreck going on behind us. I heard somebody spin, but I do not see it. I think we're good. Let's hop on board here with Luke Doran and get a ride around Daytona. See what he sees up in our top 3. As he looks on, working that wheel. Look at them hands move back and forth quite a bit here. Even down the straightaway. I mean, the hands move down the straightaway with this thing being so bumpy. You can see that. As he looks to the inside, Chris Stouffer trying to take third away. Oh, got on the apron a little bit. Able to keep it going the right direction. Look at the speed, though. .209 miles per hour as our top 4 is battling out up front for this lead. Our in-race reporter doing pretty good. He's back here in 6th. Don't count him out. Actually, Lucas here in 5th has started to work up here as well. We're not far here from having a 5-car battle for the top spot. We're going to continue to watch our leaders right now go at it, as it is a 4-car battle up front. Oh, I love the camera shake. That's so cool. Oh, Chris Stouffer got really loose. He slides up, back and still wanting to kick out a little bit. On board now with Drew as he looks to the outside. That camera shake is absolutely incredible in these things. That 22 running that high line almost made contact there with the 4 of Luke Doran as they work off turn 4. 6 laps to go this time. 5th place, James Barkus has closed the gap up here as well. We're going to be looking at a 5-car battle before this one's over. Maybe even more than that. If we get another yellow, we'll have to wait and see. But these guys keep working back and forth. They get a little bit wide here on the exits of the corners, trying to give each other a little bit of room. It's amazing to me, like looking at these cars, how much higher these cars sit. You can just see, even with the height difference in these cars and the new cars now, but the exhaust is so low it drags the ground through the center of the corner. That's absolutely crazy. A little bit of block put on here by Tony Ball. 5 laps to go this time. Hop on board. 208, 209, 210. We might hit 212, 213. 213. That was with James Barkus as he tries to run down these leaders. I mean, you can see it. They gapped everybody else. There ain't no pressure right now between our top 5. Somebody else has worked their way up. Biggest mover, 23 spots. Skylar Grissom. He just took over the 7th spot in that number 28 car. Great job by Skylar. He's up 23 spots from the drop of the green flag. That's impressive. Do not count him out. If we get that caution here, you never know. It's going to make things very interesting. I think he pretty much laid back a lot of this race, as we still watch our race leaders go at it. And these guys, look at the back end just kick out. That's what scares me the most about these cars. The back end wants to slide out so easily. That's why I can't hate on some of the guys having cautions. I mean, it happens in places like, especially with these cars, it's going to happen. As a lap car right there, that's the 51. As the 4 gets into the wall, this may bring out a yellow. He's on the bottom. That was Luke Doran, no caution. as we stay green, but that's going to drop Luke back a couple spots. Back up front, Chris Stouffer going for the lead. Coming up to 2 laps to go. And right now it is a 3-car battle with James Marcus currently in 4th, a little bit further back. You see him right there at the top of your screen. Two laps this time. Out of turn number 2. We do got some lap cars right here. The question is going to be, will the lap cars give the leader some race room or not? We seen a moment ago the 51 who was on the bottom side, had a little bit of contact, and here you go. As you look at it, 3 wide. That's so sketchy through that corner. Oh, no, the 13 to Christopher the wall. He's going to go down to the apron, through the grass, and we stay green. Tony Ball still up front. James Marcus takes 3rd away. Tony looking to grab this win here in the Manscaped 50 Clash at Daytona. Looks like it is pretty much all his from here on out. He does got a pretty good gap here. We'll see if that Ford can run down the Chevrolet as we work off turn 4. Tony Ball has led a few laps here tonight, as you all know, and he is going to win the Clash at Daytona here tonight as the checker flag waves. And James Marcus is going to finish in 3rd. Christopher 4th. And Luke Doran 5th. Biggest mover tonight, Skylar Grissom with 23 spots gained. Very impressive. We're going to talk to our top 3 here, hopefully. We'll have to wait just a moment until we can get them in here. It might take just a moment. All right, so there's your race winner here tonight. Congratulations to twitch.tv/Tony Ball. There you go. Let's shout out his Twitch. In the Aaron's number 84. How about that? That was so cool. All right, let's see if we can get a couple of these guys in here. But they have to move themselves in because I don't have the permission, so we'll have to wait for these guys to come in. So it might take just a second here before we talk to them, but that's okay. As let's see if we can do this real quick here before some of these guys start pulling in. Let's actually interview second since Tony's not in here yet. Drew, it's Adam up in the booth. You got a copy? Hey, Drew, it's Adam. You got me? Not sure if he's there. We'll talk.
Hey,
there he is. By the way, pronounce your last name for me, please.
Ballesteros.
Thank you very much. Second place tonight, man, it was a fun one. You and Tony and all them guys up front racing door to door. Talk us through what it's like driving this car around Daytona.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of good racing the first 3-4 spots. Cutting it close in some spots, but it was a lot of fun. Everybody gave enough room. Pretty scary given the fact that sometimes the strategy is to start in the back and work your way up, and thankfully didn't do that today. So all in all, it was a fun race. Next week's going to be a marathon, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Man, we was talking to Frank prior to the race, and I was asking his thoughts on this car compared to some of the Cup cars nowadays. Give us your opinion. These cars are a handful to drive.
Yeah, absolutely. You're after 10 or 15 laps, you're for sure letting off the gas, getting into the corner, which is it's basically as if you're on a 1.5 mile track in a Cup car. So it's definitely a lot different, a lot of bumps. The old surface doesn't help, but it's definitely a lot of fun. You have to stay on your toes and stay focused the entire way. So it's a really cool experience.
Well, man, you did a great job putting in a second. That's the way to start out the Clash, at least. We'll have to wait and see what happens next week when the main season gets started. But you want to give any shout-outs or anything out?
Yeah, shout out to Manscaped and our sponsors for taking care of us. We appreciate it, and we're excited for the season.
Hey, man, good job tonight. Go see if you can get it next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Next up, we'll talk to our winner, Tony Ball, who's down on the start-finish line, and you guys can see him. Tony, you got a copy?
10-4.
Man, what a race. Let's just be honest. You was out front a lot of the race, back and forth, swapping around. Talk us through your night, man. Up front, probably a little bit more calmer, I think, but it did get a little crazy there at the end.
Yeah, strategy was to get up front, try to qualify up front, and then stay up front, and we kind of executed that. So that's a good thing. Hopefully we can do that next week when it really counts. But yeah, I didn't want to be back there with the wreck. Some of my teammates got involved in the back of the pack, and glad I decided to put her up front.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about that. Is this going to help your decision on what you want to do for next week? Can you take anything from this and put it towards that?
Oh, definitely. I am. I'm going to be urging my team, and I know for me myself, I'm going to be qualifying up front, and I'm going to be trying to stay out there because once you get back in the pack, that's when your race is over.
Well, man, the car looks amazing, by the way, at twitch.tv, Tony _Ball. Any shout-outs you want to give out tonight?
I just want to thank all the boys back at the shop, Legacy Esports, my friends, my teammates, and Manscaped and CSO Diecast for coming on board for the league. Excited for next week when it really counts.
Hey, man, good job tonight. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Up, buddy. Next up, third place. James Barkis puts it in third. James, you got a copy?
Hey, I got you.
Hey, not a bad night, man. You started in third. You finished in third. Can't complain about that.
Yeah, no, not at all. Car ran good all night. Strategy was kind of working out for us. We didn't get our teammates up to the front like we had hoped to get some help, but kind of rode around the back of the lead draft there. And lap car kind of held us up there at the end, but that's no big deal. That's racing. Just bad timing when I caught them. Kind of lost the draft there because of that. But hey, overall, can't complain. Car ran great.
Did the tires fall off for you any? I know you guys got one set of tires for tonight, but nobody took them up front, of course. But did it fall off at all that you could tell?
I didn't feel any fall off. It felt like I was running my fastest laps there at the end. The car actually started to kind of handle a little bit better than it did at the beginning of the run. Tires were not an issue.
Well, man, another good job tonight. Any shout-outs you want to give out?
Yeah, I just thank all my boys at Jam Kook Racing, Pat Drabick, Cody, Brian Brogan. They all helped get ready for tonight, so hopefully it'll carry over to next week.
Hey, good job tonight, man.
All right, thank you.
A lot, buddy. All right, so with that said, let's actually bring back in our in-race reporter and talk to him one more time before we get out of here. Frank, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Finished 11th. I don't think that's too disappointing, to be completely honest. Are you? I mean, I know that you had probably a better car than 11th. I'm sure you would agree with that. But all in all, it wasn't bad.
No, I mean, for an opening race, especially one that doesn't mean much of anything, we had a decent car. This was a learning experience, learning the car, learning the track, learning the people around you and what you can do, what you can't do around certain people. And I think we succeeded in that today.
Yeah, so is that going to help you? Is that going to affect decisions that you might make next week compared to
Most definitely.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. I'm sure it was, but I wanted to ask. Hey, thanks for being our in-race reporter, man. It was awesome. You want to give any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, thanks to whoever made my paint scheme on trading paints. That was very nice to see at the last second. But yeah, thanks to the team, thanks to the guys, and thanks to whoever ran me under the red flag. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, hey, good job, that man. We'll see you next week.
Thank you,
buddy. And there you go. Oh, and actually, you know what? You can do a race rundown if you want to keep actually helping me with it. All in all.
Yeah, I could definitely hang out.
So there you go, guys. That's all our interviews. We talked to all three, but man, honestly, Frank, from you was just in a race. standpoint wise, what is the? I know your goal for next week, but do you have a strategy that you're looking into?
Stay out front, I think, turned into it. The restarts, I mean, we heard it. I don't know if you guys could hear the chatter going on in the race, but there was a lot of stuff back and forth going on about the restarts and them being a little choppy and what you can and can't do on the restarts. The cautions, everyone was saying that the cautions were really short. And yeah, that stuff definitely affects decisions and when you're going to pit and when you're going to take tires. It definitely affects those decisions you're going to make.
Yeah, for people that don't know, iRacing did implement that where on bigger tracks the cautions now are just 3 laps instead of 4 or whatever it was before, so it does affect things. So from your standpoint, for some of the other guys, what was the biggest concerning things that that you heard? Was it just guys having trouble with the car? Was it just the restarts, or was it something else?
It was mostly just the restarts. It was the restarts as far as going down too quick before the line, trying to pass below on the inside line before the line. So we got to kind of get used to that. Because you got to think, when you're running a normal iRacing room, you're running double file. There really is, you don't have that inside lane wide open to you normally.
Sure.
And then just between the checking up, because the restart gear in this car is very weird. You can sometimes get away with restarting it in first, but then you can also sometimes get away with restarting in second. So I think we all kind of just think this car has been out for 8 days, and we're not even 8 days, and we're running a league in this thing. So we're all still learning about this car.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people, that might be watching. They see cautions, and I understand it. I've done broadcasts. Everybody here's raced long enough. We all understand it, trust me. But I think what a lot of people might have trouble understanding is this is still very new. Not only some of the guys in the league, but the car in general is completely new. So, but yeah, Frank, thanks again for being our broadcast reporter tonight, man. It was fun.
Yeah, no problem. Love to do it again.
For sure. So there you go, guys. That's going to do it for us tonight. My final thoughts on the race, like Frank said, and like I just said, it's all new to everybody. It's going to get better, I can promise. I thought the racing actually was not bad by any means. I mean, there was some incidents that probably shouldn't have happened. But all in all, the racing was really fun. I love seeing these cars back out on track. That was just amazing for me to see. So I hope everybody enjoyed the race. We will have photos up from this race here in a day or so. It might take me a little bit longer because I got a broadcast tomorrow, plus some other things going on tomorrow. So, but make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night. We'll be live in WRA once again. Before we let you guys get out of here and everybody runs away, we do want to thank all of our sponsors, Manscaped. Make sure you check them out. Use code WOSCRL, 20% off plus free shipping. We thank them very much for that. Not only that, CSO Diecast. They are a great diecast dealership through Lionel Racing. If you don't know Lionel, trust me, you should. I hope I said that name right. I hope it's Lionel. But anyway, CSOdiecast.com. Check them out there. The premier sponsor of this series. We appreciate that and appreciate that. TheKillerBrownie.com. They look amazing. I was actually on there doing one of the cautions. They do look amazing. So we thank y'all very much for all that. So that'll do it for me tonight, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed the broadcast. Y'all have a great night. Take care as always, and God bless.